Who's back? Back again. Max is back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Guess who's back? Only the 34th day in a row. Let's do it. My body's ready. I got my coffee. I got a protein. This is 100% not soy. No soy in this. 100% protein. I like it. I like it. Gonna get caffeinated, proteinified, all the fun stuff. Got a lot of great guests on. Got a lot of great information to share today. And the good word at the PulseChain.com. Hex.com has been still in the sunshine recently, but PulseChain, it's pretty nice as well. But yeah, get your question in the chat. Got some builderers, got some tourists. I say tourist. What's the word for people who do tours? It's not tourists. It sounds like tourists. It's not tourists. Anyways, I'll let SJ figure it out. Welcome back to the show, KG, Stoic, and the Wild SJ. How's it going?
What's
It's
up?
not tourists.
Hey all.
Tour.
Person
who does tours.
Touring.
Person who does tours. I'm looking up right now.
A band.
Docent? It's like a tour guide.
I feel like a
Wouldn't it just be a guide?
A guide?
There you go.
Guide.
Tour guide, yeah.
That's that GPT about this.
Welcome to PulseChain. I will be your guide.
I like it. Yeah, welcome all three back to the show. All of you have been busy. I've been busy as well. Good busy, bad busy. How's things looking over on the chain? Or wants to kick us off?
Good guy, I'll go. Sure. I'm
Go
not
for it.
scared. It's been good busy. Definitely busy. So because we got 20 days left until the event, the big
20 days. What
big
event's
show.
happening, SJ?
Pulse 369 conference in Las Vegas. That's what's going on. Yeah, very exciting. It's been a big shift for us because we've gone from focusing on smaller events all over to this is now going to be just the one premier PulseChain event that's happening every year around the same time. So we went with Pulse 369 because we intend on doing it every year for the next forever, at least until I've heard RG now, instead of just saying he wants to fill stadiums, his new thing is that he wants to fill the sphere in Vegas, that big old dome.
Ooh.
I love that idea. So we now, instead of just having like, a stadium somewhere, like, all right, no, the sphere, like we're going for big time. We're going to cover that thing in Hex and PulseChain logos, and the whole world will see. So very exciting, very busy. I've been traveling, and even though like I've wanted to kind of feel like I'm on vacation, that's not possible because we have deadline after deadline after deadline, mostly for all of the like the banners, the table covers, the pop-up tents, right? All of that design work and graphic design work. I'm doing a lot of that for our team and also for some of the sponsors. It was part of the package. Like if they don't have their own graphic design team or whatever, like I've been doing work for them. So that's been fun. I enjoy doing that kind of work, but just definitely have been super busy with all that. So, we have a shiny website. Look at that shiny website. So these are some images from the previous Vegas event, which was not quite branded yet, but we did do Vegas last year in around the same time. So yeah, amazing list of speakers. I'm most excited. We're right before you scroll past him. Go back up real quick. Zach Conine, right next to RG3, right there. I think that's probably, to me, one of the speakers I really want to highlight. He's the treasurer of Nevada. From what I understand, a few years back, before my time in the Hex community, there was a group of fellas who came alongside, supported Zach in his re-election campaign. And so he's kind of leaned into us as they leaned into him. And he's getting us connected politically with a lot of the people that he knows, right? So he's going to introduce RG to like the Secretary of State, the Governor of Nevada. Like it's just like little by little, we're making waves and getting this information about really what is DeFi and what is crypto, right? They're hungry for knowledge. Like I think especially now, especially with this political climate, they want to know more about what it is that the people are doing and using, and how can they speak to their constituents about this, up and coming, technology for them, right? Something we've been in for years, but now they're just starting to hear about. So, you guys you say a lot of familiar faces there. So yeah, very excited about all the speakers. We had a really awesome turnout. There's going to be a bunch of panels talking about different things. And then some of the bigger sponsors are going to have kind of like their chunks of time to talk about either their protocols or what they feel like is going on in the space and what they want to highlight that's going on in PulseChain. So yeah, I'm excited about that. I honestly, like, if you want to keep going on there, the closer
there's a lot of speakers, a lot of people.
Yeah, there's a lot of speakers. Yeah, the closer we get to the event, the more excited I am, honestly, about the golf tournament.
I was just about to ask about that. What about the golf tournament?
So for me, I'm not a golfer. I've never, I mean, mini golf, woohoo, like that's my thing, right? But the ideas behind this tournament, so Crypto Culture, the artist formerly known as Black Hexagon, Kaylin, she really has done an amazing job of getting people interested in this event, in the golf tournament, that are not into crypto. So she is in Vegas right now, and she spent the last 2 days boots on the ground, going to the golf course where they're hosting this, putting up flyers, putting up posters. They're getting it out to their mailing list. And then, y'all, she incentivized the staff. So she's basically telling anyone that works at this golf course, if you bring X number of golfers, we will send you X amount of Pulse. And onboarding the whole crew from this golf course into PulseChain via this incentive program. So we are like, that's one of our big asks right now. There's the donation address is at the bottom of the page. But if you are interested in sending $5, $10 worth of Pulse to help us onboard this crew into PulseChain as they go about their, like, hopefully getting more golfers into this, please help contribute. That'd be something awesome, because we don't want to we have a big pool of prize coins from various projects, but we want to onboard into Pulse and into PulseChain directly. So instead of using any of the sponsorship money or anything else that's been given to us for the golf tournament itself, this is kind of a separate campaign. This was something she just came up with a couple days ago. And we, if you got something to contribute to the pot, awesome. We'll figure it out. If not, obviously, like, we've got this whole thing going. But if you want to be a part of that onboarding process for this golf tournament staff, like, please do. And then there is something else about that, and I don't have my notes in front of me. I'm failing right now. But if you catch RG3, he's going to be on with Crispy Man in about an hour. So I know he's little more well versed in all of it right now, because he's been streaming a little bit more than I have. But either way, the golf tournament, like, every hole is sponsored by a different project or person. And I didn't get to go out she did one 2 years ago. It was the first annual, or the first international, first international Pulse Masters, golf tournament. And the winners, so similarly, right, like, if you are working at that golf course, we're incentivizing you to get into crypto. If you are a winner of this golf tournament, you must onboard into crypto. If you don't have a crypto wallet, you're going to have to get one, because the prize money is in crypto. It's a minimum 15K prize money in crypto that we're assuring. But y'all, like, Axis kind of kicked it off with that sponsorship and donated one Axis token, which at the time I think was 30K. It's gone down a little bit. Who knows what it could be in 3 weeks, So I know Axis, MCR, 2Fucks, the King and Queen Pui team. There's a whole slew of them that have pitched in for this prize pool for the golf tournament. So any of the winners, should they not already be in crypto, are going to have to onboard into crypto to receive this prize. And that's what happened last time. There were 4 winners that we onboarded into crypto through that event. So It's gonna be a blast. I'm really excited. I just helped her with the registration the last time and everything inside because I'm a delicate flower and I melt, and it was like September and it was 110 degrees outside, so I didn't even go outside. But this time I'm going to be kind of running around, like, you know, seeing how everyone's doing, checking in on the holes, and I'm stoked, honestly. Like I'm a little more excited for the golf tournament because I mean, like we've done the like I come to the conference, please, but we've done the conference for like, you know, and every time's different, so it's going to be a grand old time. But for me, like I'm super excited to see how this onboarding process works through the golf tournament. Like that's a whole new ball game, basically, like pun totally intended. So
So
what
the
else?
conference is the third month, the 6th day through the 9th day, 3, 6, 9. Unforgettable.
It's our chain ID.
I like it. It's a very special number on the chain. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, can't quite do 5555 unless we're doing this in 2055, which would be you never know. You never know.
Yeah, Cinco de Mayo of 2055 is going to be a celebration.
Ooh, that's not too bad actually. What's up, KG?
No, I was gonna say I won't be able to make it to Vegas this year, but we did go out to Vegas a couple years ago, and we sponsored a hole for the golf tournament, and we're just there all day participating. It was very cool, and there was a lot of people, not only just not in the PulseChain community, but just not even into crypto. Like that is a completely factual statement. There was just golfers there because golfers like golf culture, and typically golf really isn't a poor man's sport. So, you know, you're on these nice courses with people who like to play with money, literally, because golf costs money to play. So they like to play with money, and you're rubbing elbows out there. And I think you had 4 winners at that tournament. And I know at least a few of them onboarded through the Internet Money wallet. So that was really cool. So thank you to the whole Pulse Tour team, or sorry, now the Pulse 369 team for making us a part of that.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's definitely a good market because golf is used as sort of a social indicator of your ability in business.
Exactly.
So the more or the larger number of games of golf you can play a week, the better your business is supposed to be because you've got it on autopilot. And so people in people in CEO and C-suite circles use it as an indicator of how successful they're being. If they're able to say, I played golf 8 times this week, that's, you know, I'm on top of the world.
Nice. Yeah, I think it's a great fit, and I really just, you know, kudos and shout out to crypto culture for having, you know, just having this idea and really running with it and making it something super special. Like this whole it was just so cool to get this text message from her, like, I just onboarded 31 people into crypto, you know, like each of these people now knows that they need to download a wallet in order to get this crypto to incentivize them to bring people to this golf tournament. So it's really exciting to think about because, you know, the conference itself is, to me, yes, people have been onboarded. Like as I've seen over the couple of years, you know, like we have had people that didn't know about crypto or did not know much about crypto come to the event and, you know, end up being part of the community or at least, you know, downloading a wallet and having some Pulse or some Hex because we did a lot of giveaways. But it's really, to me, more about the networking, right? Like the conference is a huge networking, like friendship and partnership building, and, you know, getting information, you know, that might be more specific to you personally, right? Like having that personal, like one-on-one time with people face to face versus just this 2D world that we're so used to being in, right? So the golf, having this now golf tournament, you know, being the onboarding piece of the conference, right? Like I think it's a match made in heaven, and I'm really excited to see this continue to develop over the years. Like the fact that it's now one event a year that we get to focus on and really put you guys, like even the fact that this is the first of that thought, right? Like there's going to be so many little details and so many little surprises that people haven't seen before, or, you know, maybe they wish like this thing would have been nicer to have at the event. Like this is gonna be it. Like I'm so excited to see just how people react to all of the work we've put in, all of the, you know, the little things that you're gonna see in terms of like, you know, what the VIP includes, what the swag bags have in them. Like it's going to be something else. So I'm really excited. Like and it's obviously like I'm promoting it because this is my team and this is what we do, but I've never been more excited for an event. And I really think that this is going to be something special. So I'm stoked. If you're on the fence, get off the fence, come hang out. Like we still got tickets. It's going to be a great time. And I really look forward to hanging out with everybody. I'm a people person. I'm an extrovert. That's why I love doing this. And that's why I do what I do with this team. And it makes my heart happy. So
2 more weeks, just 2 more weeks.
it's 2 more
Maybe
weeks.
3, 2.5. Yeah, it's
Something
going to be
like
fun.
that.
I'm excited to go there. The desert is a lot nicer in the spring than it is in summer, I've heard. So fun times as well.
Yeah. And then that guy up there, he'll be speaking too. Isn't that a fact? I think we got you on a panel, Matt.
I think I'm on the panel. Well, I think the timing. Hopefully, the timing works out. Hopefully there's a panel available that also works for the timing of me being there. But yes, I want it. Hopefully, we can do it.
Important question for you, SJ, is KC performing at any point? Or
I don't know, to be honest with you, because the golf tournament, I know that the King, they call themselves the PulseChain Cabal, and this is I'll just like go into this real quick. This was one of the coolest things I've seen happen for a sponsorship. It's MCR, 2 Fucks, King Pooey, Queen Pooey, and Vets. They all came together and sponsored one hole. And I know that they have I don't want to say because I don't know if it's going to be like as a prize or whatever, but there's at least 2 artists I know that are going to be at their hole performing. Like they're going to do a big music thing at their hole. So there's quite possible that is going to happen there.
I'm such KC and Corian investor maxis.
Oh, the best. Couple of the best for sure. Yeah.
Well, before we move on to, we got one other gentleman in the green room right now. Welcome to the stream, Fast Abdul.
Hey,
kids.
Oh no, not this guy. See you guys later.
That guy.
What's
What's
up,
up, man?
It's okay. I can hit remove. Don't worry. All right, it's gone. We're good. Yeah. Oh, and he's back. You're back. The people wouldn't let me hit. The people wouldn't let me do it. Yeah, you're back.
Yeah, I'm going to be at this event too. I'm excited about it. This will be my first PulseChain conference 369 in Vegas. It'll be cool.
First one.
Heck yeah.
All right.
I might have to go now. Dang it.
Yeah, I would love it if you came. We need to meet.
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Good to see you, buddy.
Yeah, because I'm at KG in Miami, right?
Man, Miami for sure. We had some
At least
pizza
Miami.
or something.
Well, that's
Some
great.
gourmet-
Yeah.
Yeah, gourmet pizza.
Ooh, delicious.
Yeah, Miami was great. That was my wife and I. We've actually talked about moving to Miami after that. It's like, man, it's such a cool town.
Well, the vibe too is right after. I think it was right after PulseChain launch, right? It's like a week or two because I remember it was just the buzz was just insane. And we're gonna get it back 2025. We're gonna get that. The buzz it'll be buzzing. Super buzz.
Hey, so not to change the subject, but really quickly to change the subject. When does that stake end?
Tomorrow, I think.
Tomorrow?
Okay, it's tomorrow. Okay, I thought it was tonight, but
We don't know
like,
when it ends. What if it
what's
gets
gonna
emergency in
happen?
stakes? What if it gets good accounted? What if it? Yeah, there's all these possibilities.
I know. Okay, sorry, that's all.
Actually, there is a question. No, I mean, on that, there was one question about that. If anyone can answer it, from Mr. Chuck. Can you calculate how much hex you will need for a t-shirt after large 7-day OA stake ends tomorrow? Anyone off the top of their head? They know a way to do that?
I cannot do that in my head. That's for sure.
I'm like the meme with the lady and all the numbers.
I saw on Twitter a projection that it would go up about 5,000 hex.
There we go. I bet you he restakes though. That's what I think is going to happen is that another 7-day stake happens with that hex.
Another 7 day. I was thinking another 7-day. Is it a test to do? Okay, will it be a 30-day? Okay, will be.
Could be, but I'd be surprised if it was a Quattro Cinco, like if it was a 15. Like if everything went 15 years, I think he'll keep some shorter term.
I agree.
For
No, it's an attempt to ratchet up the share price.
Yeah. Well, it's bringing down inflation, right?
Yeah, and absorbing the inflation so it's bringing down user paid inflation on one level and then also absorbing the inflation on another level. So it's kind of bringing user paid inflation down on two different fronts, so to speak.
Well, I would say it's an attempt to get people who are holding anything liquid to stake now, because you can project that if you wait another week, it'll cost you another 5,000 hex per t-share.
Oh, that's interesting. So we could see it roll several times.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's going to roll
Yeah.
over and over again. And if you can
Makes
project
sense.
that, and you can guarantee, well, not guarantee, but if you can safely project that that'll be the user behavior, then it means that there's no point in holding liquid.
Wow,
Interesting.
95% of hex. That's a crazy number.
My big question is, will there be any emergency end stakes from those 15-year stakes, right?
And I
Because
doubt
that would change staking behavior dramatically. My understanding is 50% of emergency end stake goes to the OA, so it'd come back to the OA, and 50% goes to existing hex stakers. So that'd be a good list to be on if it were to happen. Which also means that
would promote more people emergency end staking to go and claim that yield and then sell it.
True. Which, who knows? Like, maybe that's part of the 5D chess, right?
For sure. That could be the intention, right? If I give people a whole bunch more hex, they will be forced to end their stakes to lock in gains. But you don't know if that's the case or not.
Yeah.
Fast Abdul 5D, is that FUD?
Oh, sorry. Yeah. 700D chess.
I just say 369D. I think it's in the realm.
That's a good number too. Yeah.
One other thing before we, I think SJ, do you have something else on the PulseChain tour as well?
I just wanted you to scroll through to make sure I did not forget anything. I do want to mention the opening reception is going to be a pretty cool party. We had a Hexagon step up who is a DJ and event mastermind, I think is going to be the best way to say that, because he's not just doing a DJ set. He's got this whole laser light show going on. We're going to have in the VIP lounge, it's going to be a real chill, cool vibe there. So yeah, come for the after party, stay for the tech.
How can I join this cabal?
I think you already have, sir. I think you're in every cabal.
Excellent. That's my plan.
Yeah. So yeah, that's it. And I just wanted to, obviously shout out to all our sponsors, and very, very excited about everything that's going to be coming up. So I was just I like scrolling.
Can people still buy VIP tickets?
I think so. I think we had thought that they might have got sold out, but I think crypto culture pulled some strings, and we got a couple extra seats left for the dinners. That's usually what sells it out, is the capacity for the dinner venues. So right. I think she was able to talk them into giving us a few more seats. So if you are in the interest of doing those VIP events, the dinners and all that, go ahead and come on down. Come on down. It's gonna be great.
Cool. So basically, they get to have dinner with all the people on the speakers list, right?
Pretty much, yeah. A majority of them. Some of the speakers forewent their own VIP tickets to give to other people. Right. And some of them just, depending on the time of day or if they're there or not, they may or may not be able to. But for the most part, yes, it's going to be a big part of it.
Nice.
I'll be there.
Oh, that's all that matters.
What do you want? Right? I'm just kidding. I'm joking.
Wild SJ will appear, perhaps other people as well. But if nothing else, yes, that sounds
That's
fun.
right. Yeah. It's just me and dinner. I cook you a steak. It's delicious. Yes.
Yes. I mean, now you got steak. You think about KG. You think about barbecue. Man, why'd you do that? I'm just going to keep my protein shake 0% soy.
You're doing great, Max. You're doing
no
great
meat right now. It's good.
You're doing it right.
Skip meals.
Protein.
Skip meals. Proof of protein. I like it.
Nice.
Speaking of proof of protein, who wants to talk about the protein they're building into their products or otherwise next?
I think Stoic had a big announcement today, huh, buddy?
Yeah,
We
tell us about
did.
that.
We did. For anyone who hasn't seen, we have launched a new token called Glory, GLORY. You can go and check it out at 0xglory.com. We're fairly transparent about what's going on here. We want to support the bank that supports PulseChain. And currently we have about 1,500 customers using Coast who have Old Glory Bank accounts. and we've decided to create a sacrifice in order to help participate in the Regulation A+ securities offering that Old Glory Bank is doing. They're looking to raise $35 million. The sacrifice will be open as long as the Regulation A+ offering is open. We encourage people, if you want, just to go participate in the offering directly, because there's no reason why you have to do it through this sacrifice mechanism. This just really allows us to take that capital and deploy it in that way. But if you do decide to do it through the transfer agent for the Reg A+ offering, you have to give up a whole bunch of KYC information. And while most of our users are pretty comfortable with that because they've already done it with us, a lot of people won't want to do that. And so this is a mechanism to buy Old Glory Bank rather than participating in that. It's also on-chain, it's freely tradable. And one of the interesting things about the way we decided to do this is we have created effectively what amounts to a free bridge from Ethereum, Binance, Polygon, Avalanche Base, and Arbitrum, because you can sacrifice a stablecoin on any of those chains. And within about somewhere between 30 seconds and 2 minutes, this approves your wallet to then mint the Glory token over on PulseChain. So, we've been pretty good about trying to get capital onto PulseChain. We've brought about $30 million onto the chain total in the 2 years we've been operating. And this is just another way to do that, except that this time, you're making the sacrifice for the political statement that banking is a fundamental human right. And it allows you to mint the token immediately. So unlike other sacrifices that have been run, where there was a little bit of lag time before delivery of products, and maybe even never delivering a product, or lag time between when the sacrifice happened and when you got access to some tokens or coins. There's no lag time here. This is fairly immediate. In fact, there's a pretty good use case here for just if you had a small amount of money that you wanted to bring to PulseChain, you could actually utilize this as an alternative to us and as an alternative to the bridge. Because if you wanted to do something on Polygon, for example, and you had $100, it's much faster and much more cost efficient to just sacrifice for Glory and get onto PulseChain that way than it is to go out to Ethereum and then bridge over to PulseChain. So we typically see people who have amounts that are under about $2,500 find it more cost efficient to use us to get onto PulseChain than the official bridge. And this just opens it up to more chains.
So is the Glory token live already? Like,
it is.
Is there liquidity pools?
It's live. There's some LP over on PulseX if you want to trade it. The Glory token is minted 1-to-1. Sorry, the Glory token is minted 1-to-7 against sacrifices. So if you sacrifice $7 in stablecoins on one of those chains, it entitles you to mint 1 Glory. You don't have to do a full $7. You can do any increment. I think we've got 8 decimals after the decimal point in our token or in Glory. So it's incrementalized that way. But yeah, it's live. People have been minting. I think about 20 grand or so of money has been sacrificed so far for that political statement. I haven't had any bug requests except for one from KG on the styling of the website on mobile. From what I understand, nobody has made a mistake with anything else so far, and seems to be working well. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. It's a proof of concept really. We would like to make tokenizing real world assets on PulseChain something that can be done long term for a lot of different assets. If anyone wants to go and look at the data, you can see that there were about 14 Regulation A+ securities offerings in the US this month, about 35 in January, and about 550 in 2024. And this is a much more cost efficient, much faster, and much more accessible way to participate in a Regulation A+ offering than going through the centralized ownership of the transfer agent. It also means that it's liquid immediately, and you can LP it, you can sell it, you can buy it, you can do whatever you really want. But I'd like to see a lot more useful assets on PulseChain that are maybe pegged to a real world asset or derived from a real world asset, something that gives the chain more visibility and reason for people to use it.
Nice. Is the contract for Glory on the website? the contract number?
If you scroll down if you click the white paper link there on the right at the bottom, you'll get down to the contract address. And if you click the Glory icon in the middle of the screen there, that will add it to your wallet.
Okay, cool. Because there is more than one Glory token on PulseChain. I see some that are clearly not that, and I see the one that I think is that.
Yep.
But yeah, DYOR, BYOB, all that stuff.
Yep, you can get to the token, pretty quickly from those couple of links that are on there. It's exciting. I would like to, like I said, use this as a proof of concept because there's a lot of interesting projects that use Reg A Plus in order to raise capital, and there's no reason why that shouldn't be tokenized. And this is the first attempt that we're making to do that, but I can see this being very useful for others as well.
Cool.
So in addition to the token, does the sacrificer get some part of the bank as if they were to participate outside of this?
So I have to be, as you can imagine, KG, extremely careful with my language here.
Valid.
So I can't give any expectations of profit. You will see, or any expectation of work for that matter. You will see on the sacrifice information that it clearly says that there is no redemption mechanism. If I were to describe work that is being actively conducted to create a redemption mechanism, that could be considered, a promise of work. And so I'm not going to make a statement like that. Unfortunately, with all of these things, you kind of have to read between the lines a little bit. And I can totally understand if people don't trust us, but I think the people that do trust us will probably be pretty happy with the result.
I understand the tightrope you have to walk, and therefore I will not ask any follow-up questions.
It's a tough one. You've all done it.
Yeah, I found it funny hearing all of the comments on Twitter about, why isn't there a roadmap? And it's almost like you guys are just trying to do a fundraising thing and tokenizing it, and like, yeah, and just sort of nodding to myself. Like,
I mean, look, there's a lot of negative things to say about sacrifices. People are saying them now. At the end of the day, it's a free market. You choose to participate or you don't. No one's forcing anyone's hand to participate in any one of these things.
Yeah, look, the shares in Old Glory, or the tokens, the Glory tokens, are minted 1-to-1 against sacrifice funds that equate to a share in Old Glory Bank. So, the transfer agent is going to hold all those shares. It just depends on sort of what happens with Old Glory Bank ultimately as to where the token price goes, right? Like if you take a look at Old Glory Bank, they've raised about $75 million. Excuse me. If they complete this offering at 35 million, they will have raised about $75 million. If you 100x that, you have the market cap of USA Bank. If you 1000x that, you have the market cap of Chase. So, is there a chance that the Glory token 2000x's and Old Glory Bank becomes twice the size of Chase Manhattan? Probably not. I don't know that I'd project that. But can it 10 or 20 or 50? Maybe. Who knows? And this offering is pitched at $7 per Glory token because that's what the Reg A Plus offers. So if Old Glory Bank was some point in the next year to decide that they want to go public, and their public offering is at $22, well, I would imagine that would have some sort of upward price impact on the price of the Glory token, which is correlated 1-to-1 with shares. So, you can speculate as you choose to.
Well, that's not boring. I like the new tech.
It's looking for
Yeah,
sorry,
as
chat.
a new onboard to Old Glory Bank through Coast, I'm excited. I'm excited to hear all that. I really think all y'all are doing is just fantastic. I mean, it's bringing in people who may not have been able to, or otherwise like not known where to go to get into PulseChain. So kudos to y'all for doing all that. I appreciate it.
We hit our limit on the Old Glory Pay app for deposits almost every day. The daily limit is $50,000, and we hit it using user deposits through that channel almost every day. Sometimes we even hit it on weekends. The nice thing about Old Glory Bank and Old Glory Pay is it's 24/7. So if you see a dip and you want to put money in on a Saturday evening, you can through that mechanism. And that's not really something that's available to many other places unless you want to pay an 8% credit card fee, which is fair. If it's worth it to you, if you're going to see a 2x, you might as well do that. But there's value to having multiple options, especially when it comes to cashing out later down the road.
Absolutely. That getting money in and out of PulseChain is arguably PulseChain's biggest roadblock right now in terms of usability.
There's also a lot of people out there who are in crypto who take one look at the reliance that PulseChain has on the official bridge and get scared immediately. And we've created 2 ways to get money onto PulseChain that doesn't include the bridge. In fact, most of what we're doing uses the Morales API from the guys at Ivan on Tech. So we're trying to support them as well. And I think it's good tech that they've got. Their API stuff is really well written and it's useful. And I mean, if you've got $100, like I said, it's cheaper to use this than it is to use the bridge if you're on Ethereum.
It's a really good point you made too, because the official bridge is awesome as it is. There's no capital limits. For the masses, that does seem like the one point of failure. You're going onto this island and there's one drawbridge. Well, hey, hope it doesn't fall into the water, because how are you going to get back onto the mainland, so to speak?
Yeah.
We will
need more bridges.
we will helicopter you off. That's how it works.
Coast to coast.
Perfect.
Yeah, I was just going to share 2 here. It's an 8 million CST, so native backs stablecoin on PulseChain.
Nice
Is
job.
that pretty accurate?
That's just CST. That doesn't include the Ethereum-based stablecoins that we've put on as well, and that's net. So we've got outflows as well. But in order to buy up the price of CST to keep it pegged, we actually have to arbitrage using things like USDC. So around $22 million worth of assets in the DAI, the USDC, and the Tether that you see there. Those are actually us as well. It just doesn't show up in the data.
Wow. All right. KG, what's new in the world of internet monies?
Sure. So we actually just posted a download update prior to this stream, and we just passed 67,000 downloads across Android, iOS, and Chrome, averaging 119 downloads a day. Now, not all of those are PulseChain users, but whenever they download the Internet Money Wallet, they become a PulseChain user. Because for those that already know, I'm preaching to the choir. For those that don't, the Internet Money Wallet is native to PulseChain. So we're out there. You'll always see me engaging with Base and Polygon, Ethereum, and Binance, and chains you probably never even heard of, because by bringing them into the wallet, supporting their ecosystem, they are onboarded into PulseChain. Everybody who downloads the wallet is onboarded into PulseChain. Even if they want to interact with a different chain, they physically have to click the PulseChain logo to switch off of PulseChain. So theoretically, we've introduced at least 60,000 people in some way, shape, or form. Well, some of them arguably already knew about PulseChain, but some portion of that to PulseChain. So that big download update, we piggybacking on Stoic's updates, we also launched a fiat on-ramp within the Internet Money Wallet as well on Android, iOS, and Chrome. The limits are much smaller than what you're able to do through Coast. But for some people, you don't even have to KYC, which is pretty cool, under about $700. Depending on where you're at in the world, you may be able to not KYC. But for getting on PulseChain directly, the limit ranges somewhere between $300 and $400, which isn't a whale solution. But you can, again, depending on where you're at in the world, you can use your debit card, you can use Apple Pay, Google Pay, or you can just do a simple ACH transfer from your bank. And we're actually working on another solution right now that's going to expand the areas that our fiat on-ramp works. So currently works for 23 different chains, but PulseChain is one of them. And we're building relationships with these partners. And as more people use that fiat on-ramp and they see more volume going through it, they're open to increase the limits. So by supporting internet money and these types of things, you're actually supporting PulseChain as a whole. Because another feature we have that's relatively new-ish is our cross-chain swap feature, which you can, between PulseChain and 26 other blockchains, you could swap in and out of PulseChain. So you can change your Pulse for ETH, BNB, Polygon, Base, ETH, whatever. And again, there's limits there. So as more people do volume through the wallet, they're willing to increase those limits. So supporting internet money and using these tools actually supports PulseChain and helps PulseChain grow with it. So I think the biggest updates we have are the fiat on-ramp directly into Pulse and 23 other chains, and the cross-chain swap between Pulse and 26 other chains, and the 67,000 downloads. So we're growing and we're thriving.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a question here from this on onboarding. KG, can you please just walk through tutorial how to go from Pulse internet money to ETH USD Coinbase? What will be the most efficient route based on your experiences?
So we actually do have a tutorial that pretty much gets you there on the Internet Money YouTube channel. And basically what you can do is, if you're in the wallet, you don't have to leave at all. You can simply change your Pulse to ETH right within the wallet, and then you can swap your ETH for USDC right from within the wallet. So you don't have to leave, you don't have to connect to any dApps. It's all right there. And that I can't stress enough what a powerful tool that is, right? Because we're all on this panel, and most people watching this are probably deep into DeFi. And when we're saying, oh, just connect to a dApp, we do that all the time. But to the average person who's dabbling in crypto, that's like a whole traumatic event for them. So when they can just download an app on their iPhone, look, we can have the security implications conversation later, talk about easy use for a moment. When they download an app on their iPhone and they can do everything they need to do in crypto and on PulseChain right from their iPhone, that is a real life, real world step of bringing PulseChain to the people and making PulseChain accessible. So long story short.
Could I back you up for a second on that?
Yeah, please go ahead.
So something that I worked in e-commerce for a long time, and I had mobile apps, and I'm fairly familiar with shopping carts and stuff like that. And what people don't recognize is that every single friction point you put in front of someone can be somewhere between a 25 and a 40% drop off in that user. And so if you have to go to a new dApp and you have to click a new button and you have to do these things, you are losing all of the potential customers that you just gained. And so for KG to be doing this and explaining to you guys, like, no, it's PulseChain native, that means that user who comes to the Internet Money wallet doesn't have to go to the PulseChain website, doesn't have to find the RPC data, doesn't have to copy and paste it in there and create a custom network, and all of the things that would result in an eventual 90% drop off of those people, because that's what you will get in every other wallet. It is so cumbersome. And so I hope people recognize that what KG has done with Internet Money by giving you PulseChain native is kept, right? Like, instead of attracting 100 downloads and only getting to keep 10 of those people on PulseChain, it's getting 100 downloads and getting 100 PulseChain users at the same time.
Yes.
Right? So it's a dramatic difference. Sorry.
Thank you, Stoic.
I got to take off. I just wanted to say thanks to everyone here right now for making crypto suck less. Like, y'all are each, you're doing something that's making it, just like Stoic's talking about, right? Like, making it easier for that entry point, for one day my mom's going to click a button. She's already a Hexagon, but you know what I mean? Like, it just makes that much easier. And it's an honor, honestly, to be here with all you guys chatting about this stuff. I got to run, but I appreciate it.
Thanks, SJ.
Replay.
Thanks, SJ.
Thanks, Max. Always a pleasure. See you guys later.
See you later.
Thank you.
All the best.
Bye.
Yeah, Stoic. First of all, appreciate the backup there. And you're absolutely right. And, actually the biggest point of feedback that we get that's negative is people say, oh, your UI is a bit outdated. And that is true. And that's actually, we're gearing up to do a major UI revamp, because now we have all these features, we've grown, but now we want to, again, like you said, reduce those friction points and just continue to make things more intuitive and more refined, where people don't really have to reach out, where things just make sense and the flow takes them from point A to point B. But when we're out there and you're saying, hey, how do you onboard to PulseChain? Oh, like you download this wallet, you get the RPC settings, you get the contract address, you put the contract address in there, you connect to the dApp. Oh, you got to go over here to get Pulse. You got to do all these things. Now, literally onboarding to PulseChain is an hour, 2-3 hour process. That is completely simplified to how do you get onto PulseChain? You download the Internet Money wallet. That's the onboarding pitch. Download this wallet. Okay, hey, now I have the wallet. What do I do? Okay, I can pull out my credit or debit card. I can buy Pulse with it. Boom. Now they have PLS. Okay, hey, I want to add tokens. What do? You just go into your account. You click add token. We have 300 PulseChain tokens preloaded. Adding more. We got to add Glory. They don't even need contract addresses. They've got logos. They've got price tracking for all PulseChain assets right from within the wallet. Again, another friction point removed. Oh, I want to do some trading. That's awesome. Okay, you click the big, pretty swap button. Bing. All right from within the app.
And something else that people don't recognize about that is, right, it's an active attempt to make sure that people are safe when using the product.
Exactly.
Right? Because if you don't do those things and you don't have those things preloaded, it results in someone clicking the wrong Glory contract and getting their wallet drained, or clicking the wrong PulseX asset, or, for argument's sake, clicking on the wrong DAI. Right? Like, you think you're on DAI and you think you're spending your DAI, but you've just bought PDAI. Like, anyone can buy that if that's what they want to do, but they shouldn't be buying it if they don't know what it is. And that's the advantage of going to these extra steps. It's like, you have to do this to protect people, because everybody here is more skilled than the average person. And you have to recognize that that's not the person who's new. That's not the person who just downloaded this wallet. Right? And so I hope everybody recognizes that. Like, it's the hard work. And it sucks doing the hard work sometimes, but you have to, in order to not have someone come to you and write on Twitter, hey, I just lost $4,000. Like, why did you guys let this happen to me? And KG, I feel so bad for you. The couple of times that I've seen that happen, where someone has, accidentally sent funds to a contract address. And at a certain point, you're like, you protect people as much as you possibly can. But after a certain point, like, people have free will. You can't take that away from them. So there's a fine line to walk, and I just commend you on doing such a good job of getting it right so routinely. Like, I just love it.
Thank you, man. That means a lot. And same to you. You guys, I know that the trenches that we're in of all this customer facing problems that are almost always user error. And so I appreciate the kind words. You guys have built something awesome, so that does mean a lot. And
hey, just in case you didn't know, sorry, I thought I'd mention, because I got a jet in a second.
Mhm.
We've got a bunch of triggers set up in our customer service chat that just direct people to you guys.
Oh,
So, like, when
Nice.
it's not quite at the point where it's automated and AI is doing it for us. Like, we still have to trigger them all individually, but all of our macros that mention wallets and stuff, we're just like, go here, go here. And if someone comes along and they're like, hey, I hate these processing times, because, like, when you use Coast, you have to be relatively good about capital management and about knowing the timeframes for sending, especially if it's if it's international. So if someone needs something urgently, we're just like, here you go. It's easy, right?
Mm.
Just go straight here, dig your credit card out. It's fine, right? So anyway,
Thank you.
yeah, just thought I'd let you know that I hope you're getting some traffic from us, because we have been sending it.
Well, thank you. That's in a way leaves me speechless, because like as we as PulseChain builders support each other in these ways, that also helps grow the PulseChain ecosystem. So I appreciate you doing that. And hey, look, we just got 119 downloads a day on average for the last 21 days in a row. So I can't say it's not sending people our way.
Well, people get weird about this stuff, right? When there's the perception of competition, and people are not recognizing that we're all pulling in the same direction, right? Like, it is not a bad thing for there to be more fiat on-ramps. It is not a bad thing for PulseChain to be native in more places, right? Like, people have come into our DMs and been like, are you guys upset about, like, the loss of market share? And we're like, no, absolutely not. The goal is to get more money on the chain. We're coin agnostic. Doesn't matter if it goes through us or somewhere else, right? Like, it's all good.
Well, and it's synergistic, because right now our fiat on-ramp option only supports, $300 to $400 per transaction. So if someone comes at us and says, hey, we want to on ramp 20 grand or more, we're sending them to Coast. So it's not, there isn't this competition. I mean, sure, you could argue at some level, sure there is, right? But ultimately it's irrelevant because we are sending people your way, you're sending people our way. And at the end of the day, we're getting a new user onto PulseChain, which helps everybody, both of us included.
Yep, it's a network effect. We all get that here. Network effect. And you just got to focus on that as the end goal. And if the fees you make are $5 grand or $6 grand this month, that doesn't matter in the big picture.
No, it does not.
You're breaking up there, Max. You're a robot, Max.
Wait for 5 seconds. It'll be normal again. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And
Sorry,
we're back.
guys. I've actually stayed too late. I desperately have to leave. But thank you so much for the time, Max. Appreciate you guys all so much.
Stoic.
Thanks, Stoic.
Thanks for everything, brother. Appreciate you.
Cheers,
See you
gents.
later. Yeah. So what I said was there's a lot of protein in this room. I just drank a lot of it and a lot of building and good stuff happening, but it didn't quite land. So sorry about that. Thanks a lot, internets. Where does the blockchain live? We'll never know. I don't know. We get wrap up here in a few minutes, but we've been fucking around with fast. Anything good?
Well, let's talk bribes, Max. We're almost done our Briber protocol, which is a fork of something called Hidden Hand for PulseChain. So it's visible at briber.io. We're bringing tokenized smart contract bribes to PulseChain. We're starting with fucks and 2fucks as the protocols that you can accept bribes for, but we have spots for other protocols. So just for example, if the Ink token were to become a DAO and you were voting on something that was interesting, like where the next farms will be, or what the next farms will be, then there would be an Ink bribe option. But right now for fucks and 2fucks, since the yield is totally 100% determined, aside from swap fees by which pool receives the most votes, we will have bribe options where people can place or take a bribe for their fucks or 2fucks votes. And I think that'll be interesting, to say the least, and it should change the dynamic a little bit, and it'll be an additional yield source for the people who are locking those tokens, so the fucks and 2fucks tokens. Right now do pay yield when you lock them, but that's not their main purpose. Their main purpose is to give you voting power, which turns into yield if you vote for a pool that you're in. But if you have an option to take a bribe and you have a menu of bribes, it's not just one bribe, then you'll be able to take the bribe that suits your bags, or just take the top bribe on the list, whoever's paying the most for votes. But you get to see where your votes are going. So it's how bribes should be. We might roll it out into North American politics. Transparent bribes.
Making bribes great again. Is that what you're trying to say?
Indeed.
MABA or Mabga.
Mabga.
It'd be a lot cleaner than the
like
current bribe system in politics right now. At least like, oh, this guy took a bribe from that guy, so he's probably going to do this. Like it would be.
Have you applied for Doge, sir? Have you applied for Doge?
I should get on that Doge list. We don't have that in Canada. We'll have to find a Doge equivalent here.
Not yet.
So fast. I want to say I've done some research into the hidden hand thing since our last stream.
Okay, cool.
And it's a pretty cool protocol. Like the value is, yes, it's crypto crack in a lot of ways because you have to understand so many layers. But once you understand those layers, it's like, oh, this makes perfect sense as to why this thing exists. And you're the expert. Don't let me explain it wrong. Would you call it a sort of arbitrage opportunity in a way? Like
it's a voting arbitrage opportunity, right? Like where you can arbitrage the value of your votes. Right. You could vote for a pool that you're in and increase your yield that way, or you could sell those votes to someone else, and if that's paying you more, you would do that. So it gives the votes on these two protocols have always been worth money because you're only voting about money, but like it's very much putting a number on it, and we've seen it on like Ethereum and other chains. Like people will make between 5 and 15% of their bags a month sometimes in taking bribes, right? So like it's initially, I'm sure it'll be slow and there'll be some deals to be had on the Briber side. But over time, like over 6 months, like likely it will develop sort of like standardized pricing for how much people are willing to pay for a bribe for a vote. And if something like PulseX ends up having a DAO function, then that will be compatible with this protocol. And we'll be able to, buy and sell votes for Inc. or for PulseX or for whatever the voting mechanism is there. And it's all on chain, right? So it's like people can see where, like, who's voting where, who's taking what bribes. So it's very much a clean thing, even though it's bribes sound pretty sleazy. This is the cleanest form of bribes. It's very, very pure.
It actually kind of is, because you're paying for this person, so they get pure value there to vote for the thing that you believe in, which is pure value there, and nobody necessarily gets screwed over in the bribe, because the other party could also just as transparently participate in the bribe too. Exactly. So it's they're so hidden hand almost makes it sound bad. It could be like transparent.
Transparency hand.
Yeah, exactly. Literally.
Yeah. It's only hidden because you've gone quite a ways down the rabbit hole by the time you've made it here. Like, I don't expect day one users to be like, okay, this is Fast Abdul's bribe protocol. You really need to know this. Like, maybe we'll start with, PulseX or something. But for the super users, and we have a lot of super users on the Pulse chain, this is an additional layer where it's like, okay, you can control what's going on in more than one way by voting with your dollars one way or another, either by taking somebody else's money, and you're getting paid in like in Pulse or USDC or 2FUX tokens. Those are the only three tokens that you can make a bribe with. So when you receive a bribe, you're getting either Pulse, USDC, or 2FUX as the bribe source, right? Which are, generally speaking, things people want. I think we'll see a lot of bribes in Pulse and USDC, honestly, because if you're participating with this, probably you want your 2FUX tokens for something else, and that will, that's gonna change the game a little bit. And we're gonna see some pools that pop up to 800%, and nobody will know why. And eventually, over a couple months, people will drill down to figure out why is that pool paying so much. And that'll be interesting. But like, let's face it, guys, this is an entertainment economy, right? And, this is something fun to talk about. So I haven't pushed it a lot the last couple months because I want to have a finished product. But like, to go on screen and talk about bribes and talk about like all the different layers, like I think it'll add some, some interest to my live streams where I can literally talk bribes with actual numbers to show.
Question from Hex Monkey before we wrap up here. Question for Fast: what is the most cost-effective buying and locking 2FUX and voting or bribes?
That will depend on the day. Like, logically, buying and locking 2FUX is the most effective way to consistently have voting power. The bribe option, you're only doing one voting cycle, which with 2FUX is a 2-week cycle, which counts twice on the Fux exchange. So like, you might get a better deal via the bribe option to direct it towards a pool that you're interested in. I think Hex Monkey maybe has a couple pools he likes, but it wouldn't be consistent. You've only guaranteed that vote for that 2-week period of time. So, as from a founder perspective, you might want to look at, having some stable layer where you're always going to get a certain amount of votes. But if there's a deal to be had and it's cheaper than buying and locking 2FUX for, an extended period of time, probably doing some of the bribes would be good. So I think for things like new projects launching, be like something launches, it's brand new this month and there's a farm for it. They could pump that farm for the first 2 weeks for a minimal cost compared to what they need to buy and lock 2FUX or FUX tokens to accomplish. So it's like, that's an extra tool they have on their belt. But for, the big founders who are trying to incentivize a pool for the long term, probably they want to lock 2FUX tokens. And since Richard decided to reduce the yield on Inc. Twice in a row, I think what he's really saying is you should take a look at 2FUX. That's where the yield is now. If the PDI guys do it, why can't I do it?
When you said pump that farms, it just maybe in my mind I was like pump.farms. Is it? Oh, okay, pump that farms. Yeah, it's the pumping, the fun, the tires, all the stuff is. It's been a crazy past couple weeks, gentlemen. Where can people find more about your stuff and bribes and brides and all that stuff?
Go ahead, Abdul.
The best place to find me is via the website. So that's 2phux.io. There's links to the Telegram there. Beware, there's lots of scammers out there. I will never DM you. I'll never send you a private message or send you a link to click. From there, you can find the Telegram room. We'll answer all your questions there. Do your own research. Don't enter these pools before you understand what you're doing. This is the high end of liquidity providing. Thank you.
And for myself, internetmoney.io. If you have not yet, download the Internet Money wallet on Android, iOS, or Chrome. Click around on it. You don't even have to put any money in there. Just to try it out, it's free. See if you like it. See all the cool features we offer. If you have any questions, you can join us on Telegram. Link on the website, internetmoney.io. And just like Fast Abdul, myself, admins will never DM you. Nobody legitimate is ever reaching out to you through direct message. They will steal all your money and they'll have a fun time doing it because they hate you and they want to see you suffer. I'm KG.
Well, that's quite a part to go out on.
Beat that, Max.
On a positive note, yes, Telegram is full of scammers and do watch out. I definitely agree with that. Shoot, what was I going to? You lost my train of thought. Oh, I was going to say, on the bridge, they're like, oh, you may get some pulse once you go across the bridge. It just made me think on Internet Money. Is there a way to, if you download the wallet, you already have some pulse. You might as well use the network. Have you all thought about that before?
We have thought about that. We actually implemented that a year and a half ago in beta, and we have full intention and desire to bring that back. So great idea, high on the priority list. I'm not even going to put a timeline on it, but yes, we want
2 more
to.
weeks. That's what I heard.
Yeah, at least. At least.
Just thought of it. All right.
And hey, Max, really appreciate you having me on today, supporting us and giving me the opportunity. Spread the message.
Thank you both for building on PulseChain. I mean, there's a lot of people that, the last couple, hopefully it'll be easy to build on PulseChain in the next year or so, easier than it has been with, stuff up and down and all that stuff too. But I hope that it's like, it's a no-brainer. I'm going to build on PulseChain. There's a community here that loves it and that supports it, and you can make all kinds of money and everything is great. Like that atmosphere, I hope that's where we're trending towards. And the price follows it. That'd be great as well. Mad Gains, True DeFi, amazing projects and community. PulseChain.com. That's all we got for you today. Scivive and 5555. We are out.